Howdy, howdy, my friends. Welcome to San Diego. We're the Beach Life group right here. We got a really fun one today. We're gonna go into San Diego City versus the San Diego Suburbs. San Diego as a whole, it's got a lot of little different nooks and crannies and areas, but a lot of people are trying to figure out, do they want to be closer to the city? Now, the city of San Diego is a big city. There's a lot of cities that are part of the city of San Diego. If you're looking, you're like La Jolla, city of San Diego, Scripps Ranch, city of San Diego. But if you're looking at the city of San Diego on a map, it goes pretty far north, even into like Escondido to the very north, like the San Diego Zoo, even though it's in Escondido, is part of the city.
Park.
Safari Park, there we go. He goes there. I haven't been there in a while, but that is part of the city of San Diego. So the kind of footprint's weird, but we're gonna kind of focus on the differences between the cities, the suburbs, what the difference is, and let you decide which is gonna be the best for you. Let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Lewis.
And I'm Chris Erickson.
And we love making these videos for you, but we would also love to help you with your real estate needs here in San Diego. So if you are thinking about moving out here, definitely get in touch with us. Call, text, email. We've got your back when moving in and around San Diego. And we are dropping new videos every single week on anything and everything you need to know about San Diego. So if this is your first time to our channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of great information on our channel already, but you don't want to miss new stuff either.
So hopping into a little bit of commute, traffic, what to expect going with that. Downtown San Diego is pretty dense. So as you're cruising around there, yeah, obviously there's gonna be traffic. Any of the freeways cruise around the 5, the 15, the 56, the Golden Triangle, which a lot of the freeways meet during rush hours, during random times, during weekends and stuff. Definitely holiday weekends, everybody's traveling. Those are gonna get pretty busy. So it's something to think about if you are commuting. A lot of the kind of business district and stuff, and a lot of the businesses are in the central part of San Diego. Downtown has some.
Yep.
North County has some. Everywhere has, you know, businesses. Like Carlsbad in North County actually has a big chunk of businesses here. But as a whole, a lot are kind of centrally located. So whether you're living in North, whether you're living in downtown San Diego, commute's not gonna be too bad. There's just a lot of different little freeways. On the east, you have the 15. On the west, you have the 5. And then a lot of cut acrosses too, the 56, the 52, to kind of get around to where you need to be.
There's obviously a lot that goes into whether traffic and a commute is something that you need to worry about. If you do already have a job lined up and you don't want to commute, maybe you do want to live in that kind of San Diego City portion of San Diego. If you are okay with like a 30 or 40 minute commute, that puts you in a lot of different communities within San Diego, puts you in North County for some of them. If you have a airport commute, or if you need to go to the airport a lot for work, you might want to just be kind of coastal. Even if that's coastal North County, it's like a 30-minute drive. If you go all the way up to like say Fallbrook, which is on the very north end of San Diego County, it's going to be closer to like an hour to get down to the airport. So, but that also could be said for if you're living in Rancho Bernardo, which is not as far north, but a little bit further east, it could be kind of in that 45-minute to an hour range also, depending on what time you're traveling.
We've had some people reach out who are potentially working in Orange County or who want to potentially have a job here in San Diego, but maybe want to live in Temecula, which is a little bit more affordable than most of San Diego County. That is a long trek. San Diego or Temecula down to San Diego, especially that central area of San Diego, that's gonna take a while. Even though on the road, there's not much between Escondido once you get to 15 to Temecula, that's a long road. It just seems like it goes on. I mean, it doesn't take too terribly that long on the actual freeway, but then you cut off and depending on where you're going, it does take a while. I think it would probably get a little bit, you know, probably wear you out a little bit over time. I mean, it is like, it's a trade-off. So you get a little more affordable, you get to work in San Diego, but most people who are living here want to explore and live in San Diego as well.
And one thing to piggyback on what Chris is saying, a lot of that is if you're traveling during commuter time, Temecula is a hike because the commuter time, that freeway is backed up for a long ways going south for people that are commuting to San Diego in the morning and going north for those folks that are going home in the afternoon. So that's definitely something where you want to test out that drive because there are some just choke points that get really congested 5 days a week. So let's get into the types of homes kind of in that difference between city of San Diego and the rest of San Diego. San Diego City, you're gonna have the grid system. Like a lot of cities across the country, it's more dense because they organized it well, and it's in a specific grid system, like in downtown, like in North Park, like in PB. Those types of areas, they're gonna be a little more dense because they just organized it really well. A lot of these neighborhoods are also older. So where in North County, you're not gonna see homes that were built in the 20s and 30s. In North Park, it's something you will see. So older homes, those neighborhoods have been around a long time, so there's not a ton of new builds. Some of like the downtown San Diego area can find kind of newer condos, but most of the land is already built on, so you're not finding a ton of new stuff.
And hopping into San Diego proper, like downtown San Diego, those condos down there are going to be that more apartment style. You got the kind of high rise. Well, first off, the city, like downtown San Diego, footprint wise, it's tiny. Like if you look at most downtowns, it's not that big. You have a few high-rise buildings, you cruise through, you get through one side of downtown to the other side of downtown pretty darn quickly. And then the rest, that's still considered San Diego, the North Parks and Hillcrest and PB and all that stuff just outside of San Diego. That's just kind of more, it's still on the grid systems, but it's a little more neighborhoods. You're not gonna find a ton of high-rises out there. But the downtown condos, that's, like I said, apartment-style condos where you're those high-rise buildings. Once you get to the suburbs, most of the condos, they're gonna be called condos, but they're actually gonna live more like a detached home. There's still some condos, but a lot of them are gonna live like townhomes. That's what we call them up here, townhomes, where you're sharing a wall, maybe you're sharing 2 walls, a lot of 2 stories, a lot of them have their own garages and that kind of stuff in the surrounding areas once you get out of that downtown area.
We're also seeing kind of in the last 20 years that the townhome style has changed a little bit since you can go up and add more square footage. We're seeing a lot of 3-story townhomes, so where either your living space is on the first floor with a garage, and then you've got bedrooms from there, or maybe you've got just you have your garage, a little sitting area, and then you go up to the main living area, bedrooms upstairs. There's a few different styles of them, but we saw a lot of them, especially in North County, over the last 20 years.
And back to the suburbs, most of those, not all those, but they're not grid system. They're kind of like this community was built, then this community was built, a lot of kind of like winding roads and kind of weird setups, a lot of master plan communities up there. And a lot of those suburbs, like kind of age-wise, is like 1970s, 1980s is when they started building out these master plan communities. And then you have like kind of brand new stuff. You have some middle stuff too, 2000s, and then you have 2010s, 2020s. So there's some brand new stuff as well in the suburbs here in San Diego. Now hopping into the proximity to everything downtown, or just go the city of San Diego, especially like kind of like a few mile radius around the city of San Diego. That's where you're gonna find the most walkable communities. Downtown, Little Italy, North Parks, PB is somewhat walkable, but that's a lot of the walkable neighborhoods here in San Diego. Once you get out and about, you're not gonna find too many of those walkable neighborhoods, but if you want that and you wanna specifically stay in those neighborhoods where you can pop out, go to the main little strip, get some coffee, get some lunch, maybe hang out, go to a little brewery. A lot of those areas right downtown San Diego is where you'll find it because that's where a lot of that infrastructure is. Now the downtowns in the suburbs, you're gonna find a lot of the cities do have like the little downtown strip right in kind of like downtown Encinitas, old Carlsbad, downtown Carlsbad, the Village, all that kind of stuff. So they do have like little miniature versions of that, but most of the walkability, those kind of neighborhoods where you're super close to everything, is gonna be downtown. And jumping into beaches, the city of San Diego, it doesn't have a ton of beaches. Like if you're downtown San Diego, you have the Bay right there. So you do have that area. You could hop across to Coronado. The closest beach is if you go on to like Ocean Beach, and then you work your way up Mission Beach, and you have Pacific Beach, and then you're starting to get into La Jolla. So that's kind of like the run of beaches, where North County, it's all the way from like Del Mar all the way up through Oceanside, a nice big run of beaches, a little more kind of straight shot, where downtown San Diego's kind of got a little more jagged and stuff. So anyways, beaches, if you are in some of those beach communities, will be super close, but like North Park's not too close. The city of San Diego, downtown San Diego's not too close.
And obviously our beaches get pretty crowded during the summer. Downtown San Diego and that section of like PB, Mission Beach and stuff tends to be a little bit more touristy. Mm-hmm. So those get pretty busy during the summer months. Beaches kind of in that Del Mar and up, they get busy, but not to the extreme that the beaches down south get to. So that's just something to keep in mind also.
And one thing about downtown, our airport is literally in the center of downtown. A lot of other places when you fly to the airports are like, outside a little bit, maybe 10, 15 minutes away from the downtown area. You're flying into downtown San Diego. So with that comes the noise of planes landing and taking off. There's like zones where you could see on a map and you cruise in. So if you're in like the Point Loma, OB area, that's like where a lot of planes take off. A lot of people who live down there, they get used to it. Like I'll go visit friends and stuff down there, and you have to stop the conversation. So we've been to Stone down at Liberty Station. That's like right in the flight path, and you'll be chatting with somebody. You literally have to stop because the planes are flying overhead and taking off. It gets pretty loud, but the people who live in down there are just normal. They just get used to it. So up here in North County, there's Palomar Airport. So there's a little flight path, but it's little planes. So you will see them, you will hear them, but it's not big jetliners.
You'll see too, we've helped a lot of folks find condos downtown. The newer condos, definitely keep that in mind. So if you close doors and windows, you do not hear those airplanes. A lot of them have fountains kind of in the courtyard areas too, which definitely drown them out. So that's just something with the newer builds that we've seen a lot of. Let's get into the next thing, which is schools. There is a big difference between schools in the city of San Diego proper and kind of the other cities within San Diego. The city of San Diego proper has San Diego Unified School District, which is enormous. It is a huge school district. It encompasses a big portion of San Diego: La Jolla, Ocean Beach, Mission Beach, Point Loma, North Park, South Park, Mission Valley. There's like a ton of different areas that feed into San Diego City Schools. And so the district is just large. That's the big difference. Where you get to kind of up into Rancho Bernardo and Poway, you've got the Poway School District, which is pretty big too, but it's not anywhere near as big. And then you get into kind of some of the smaller communities, like Encinitas has its own school district, Carlsbad has its own school district, Oceanside and Vista have their own. So in North County, you're going to be kind of city specific, what your district is, and kind of south of the 56 down to downtown, it's going to be San Diego Unified, and it's just a big area.
And even if you don't have kids going to school, one thing to think about is that resale value when you do sell your house. Put your business cap on and kind of think like long term. Some school districts are better than others. You can kind of do your own research and figure all that out. But that's just something else to think about when you are, moving out here and potentially buying a home. Now hopping into recreation and nightlife, that's definitely not something you really have in the suburbs. It's sleepy. It's quiet. We're gonna get in trouble. We're filming kind of late here. No, I'm just kidding. We're filming early, but usually everything shuts down pretty darn early. There's bars and stuff that stay open for a little bit, but we're not known in kind of the suburbs for that nightlife. If you want that, definitely go to downtown. Obviously, you've heard of Gaslamp, even some of those surrounding cities, those walkable neighborhoods like PB, North Park, all those areas, they will have a lot more nightlife than kind of the surrounding areas. So if you want that vibe, you kind of want that energy, you're going to want to focus on those areas. If you want sleepy, you want suburbs, that's kind of like quintessential suburbs, then that's where you're going to want to be, kind of in those different areas.
North County tends to be way more happy hour than late night.
Yeah.
So a lot of our spots that we hit up are breweries, which are usually closed by 8, 9, 10 o'clock at the latest. So that tends to be kind of the nightlife here in North County.
And then recreation-wise, throughout all of San Diego, there's a lot of trails you could find. If you're down towards San Diego, you have Balboa Park. This guy went to the zoo the other day right down there. You have a lot of those kind of city, tourist activities that we actually do too. So up here you do have the zoo, the safari park, as we said. You have a bunch of different, Calavera Hills over in Carlsbad trails. There's some trails kind of in the eastern section of San Diego out on Poway and stuff.
Both parts of San Diego definitely have parks. A lot of the localized cities have a real focus on their park system. So Carlsbad is one that has phenomenal parks. If you've never seen Alga Norte, it's worth checking out. But, there's a lot of park systems throughout the county.
And then also like downtown San Diego, you're going to find a lot of events. Obviously the Padres play down there, so we make a few trips down there throughout the year. They just also have like concerts, and they have kind of like open air, I don't know, all kinds of different stuff.
Wine festival,
Wine
beer
festival,
festivals.
yeah, all those festivals. Embarcadero, the Seaport Village down there. So there's a lot more action going on, while every little city, Carlsbad has concerts in the park. Other areas have like farmers markets every week. So you will find those little activities throughout the week too. But for like the bigger events, a lot of that does happen in kind of that downtown San Diego area. Also,
kind of within San Diego as a whole, cycling is a huge thing here. And a lot of our kind of cities have made a focus of that. North County, Encinitas just put a ton of money into making the Coast Highway safer for cyclists. So if that's something that you are going to do on the regular, maybe look into some of these North County communities that have that.
And I was just chatting with a dude who is from Austin. He was kind of saying he was cycling up in like Carlsbad and going through a bunch of different areas. How many like different little trails and different ways to go. He's like, you can't find that out there. So that's something unique too, and you'll find that in a lot of different cities. So if you are moving from Austin or Boston or Denver or Northern California or anywhere else, just as a quick reminder, we are real estate agents right here in San Diego. So feel free to reach out, call, text, or email. The number is popping up right now. We got your back when making the move here to San Diego.